What's going on, everyone? Your mom's favorite YouTuber, KKS here, and welcome back to another video. Today, I am going to make a tier list on the best Among Us colors. Um, so I've got all the colors down here. I've got tiers. S is the best tier, D is the worst tier, and um, before we begin, I'd like to ask you all to please subscribe. It's free, easy. It's just 10 seconds out of your day, but it's a bigger impact on me and it'll help me out a lot. So please do that. Thank you. And here we go. First, we have orange. Now, orange, I have used a couple times. By the way, I have used all of these colors for imposter and as crewmate. So that will give my I have an pretty accurate opinion, and obviously some of these I'll have a better opinion on. For example, I used red, pink, purple, cyan, blue, white, and black the most. So the rest of them I've used, just not as much as those. Yeah. So for orange, so when you're using orange as crewmate, people tend to believe you, and because you're telling the truth, your color is orange, and believe it or not, your color matters. By the way, and it also matters if you're imposter or crewmate to see how much people believe you. So as crewmate, people will always believe orange. Actually, no, that is not true. Not always. I'd say part of the time they believe orange, most of the time. However, I think it's got an average belief rate as orange when you're crewmate. When you're imposter, though, you're pretty much safe. Nobody's going to accuse you. Um, you wonder why it's weird like that? I do too, but it is the way it is. So orange, um, as crewmate, C tier, as imposter, A tier. So in the middle would be B tier. However, I don't like the color, so it's C tier. Moving on, yellow. Yellow, interesting also. I've used yellow a bit more than orange. Oh yeah, by the way, some of these are bigger and don't fit. I don't know how that happened, but it happened, so we move. Yellow. So the color's a bit nicer than orange. I just don't like orange, really. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't like it. Um, but yellow, it's harder to get away with being imposter because you see all of these colors like black and brown are similar, pink and red are similar, excuse me, purple and blue are similar, blue and cyan, cyan and lime, we're gonna call that lime, lime and green. But what is yellow similar with? White? You could think that, but they're really not similar. So it's hard to get away with like somebody barely seeing you. Um, and it's also hard to lie because not a lot of people will believe you as imposter. However, if you're a crewmate doing regular crewmate things, you're better off than orange. You're above average belief rate. So for yellow, it's gonna be C. I'll give it low end B tier. It might be the bottom B tier. We'll see. Um, but next we have black. So with black, again, similar with brown. So you could get away with some kills. However, um, it's also difficult to believe black. Um, and as imposter and as crewmate, so it's not very good. However, the color is clean, and when the lights are off, slightly at least, depends on your settings or whatever. It's easier to get away with killing in the dark with black. Um, so for black, I'm gonna go A tier. Um, the only reason it's not S tier is because it's hard to believe black. So anyways, white. Like black, it's hard to believe white, um, especially as crewmate, which is interesting. You're better. you're more likely to get voted off as white when you're crewmate than imposter. Um, so with white, I'm gonna put that A tier. We're a no racist zone here, so we're gonna have black and white on the same tier. Um, and yeah, so black and white are both there because they're very similar. Again, moving on to lime. I've used lime quite a bit, um, and it's got its counterpart, I would say, is cyan, and it's got a few advantages over cyan because lime is somewhat believable as imposter. I think it's average as imposter, and above average as a crewmate. It's very easy to believe Lime as a crewmate. So at the end of the games, when it's a 2v1 situation and you're Lime, and your crewmate, you have a good chance of getting the other crewmate to believe you. So for that reason, Lime is going to be B tier above yellow. Not quite at the superiority of white and black, but B tier works. Um, and yeah, so next we got brown. Honestly, why would you pick brown? This is the worst color. Brown is D tier. Like, look at that. That's brown. Whose favorite color is brown? Have you ever heard somebody say their favorite color is brown? Brown. Brown is D tier. I don't care how good you are as imposter with brown. Brown is D tier. Honestly, when there's a 10 color lobby, how often is brown one of the two colors not selected? More than any of these other colors. I can tell you that. Nobody likes brown. Who the hell likes brown as their favorite color? Come on. All right, moving on to blue. So blue is very, 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 very difficult to believe as imposter. You're likely not going to get away with much. And as crewmate, also just not believable. It's difficult to believe blue, even though it's a nice color. I have to go put it in the C tier, but it goes above orange. Anyways, cyan. Cyan used to be my main until my brother decided to take it and use it every time we played. Um, but with my experience as using cyan, nobody ever believes you. Everybody always is going out at cyan. I think it's because everybody wants to be cyan, but somebody takes it and then they get mad and they take their frustrations out on them and never believe cyan. And now you have this racist image in your mind that all cyan people are disgusting and take your color and everything. So people consider them liars and cheats, but they're D tier. I'm sorry. Used to be S tier, but everybody accuses them. So next we got green. Um, so with green, very similar to um, very similar to lime. So it's not difficult to get away with killing someone. Um, and the thing with green is that you're very, very believable as crewmate and semi-believable as imposter. So for green, I'm gonna put them B tier above yellow, but not above lime, right behind lime, because lime is a lighter color. Lime is, you're more likely to believe lime. Now, purple. Purple's an interesting one because um, as imposter, you're not likely to be believed, but there is a reason for that. It is because the people who usually main purple are the best imposter players. So purple is S tier. If your main is purple, you are one of the best imposter players. So purple is S tier. Um, I mean, it may be going slightly down, comparable to white and black, but as of now, purple is S tier, and it may stay for the length of Among Us is alive. So now we've got two more left, pink and red. First, pink. Pink is also going to be S tier, and there are many reasons for this. Very different from purple, however, even though the colors are similar. Purple is you are the best Among Us player, right? But pink is the most believable as imposter. I mean, looking at all these colors, if you had to pick one that you would believe to be crewmate when they're imposter, pink is the one that's going to be the winner. Pink is the most likely to get away as imposter, also very believable as crew, and so pink is going to be S tier. And is it going to be above purple? No, but it's S tier. And last but not least, we have red. And red is the basic Among Us color. Um, Out of a 10-person lobby, I don't think you've ever probably seen a lobby where there are two colors left over. One of them is red. That came out weird, but you get what I mean. Everybody picks red. And yeah, but as imposter, red gives the imposter better abilities. You may not like understand that, but red makes people like psychologically more bloodthirsty. You know, red is the color of blood. You want to see more of it. And the main thing about Among Us is that the imposters are always too passive when it comes to killing. But red helps that balance. If you're more of a passive imposter, red will give you that balance to become less passive, more aggressive, but not too aggressive. And so red is the perfect imposter color because it's also an average belief rate. But by the time people start suspecting you, the game's over, you've killed everyone. And so red is gonna have to be S tier. Um, and yeah, I would put it ahead of pink too because I think um, I think both of red and pink are similarable crewmate belief rate, and I think the tiebreaker is just red's abilities as an imposter killing people. So yeah, this is my list, and yeah, yellow is borderline BC, but I'm gonna give it. Although blue might be. Because the main things about blue and yellow is that yellow is more believable. So yeah, I give it the edge at B tier. But sadly, cyan is gonna be D tier. Brown is most definitely D tier. Orange is bottom end of C tier. Blue and yellow very close, but yellow gets the slight edge. White and black are A, and lime and green are kind of like the average fellas. Like you can't go wrong with those two. And yeah, so that concludes my Among Us color tier list. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, please subscribe, and yeah. Um, I hope to see you all next time.